All right. Um, okay, Stephanie, you should be able to share your screen now. While you're doing that, I want to
Great.
introduce Stephanie Shipman. She's with MoveEasy. Al and I have met with a lot of concierge vendors over the last few months, and far and away, we thought MoveEasy was the best product. Stephanie's here to tell you all about MoveEasy. We officially go live on Monday. So after this call, we'll be sending up some follow-up materials. But MoveEasy is a really great branded personal concierge service that also includes live concierge for your clients. It will be free for all of you and for your clients. So we're really excited to introduce it. And Stephanie, you can go ahead.
Great. Yeah. Thank you, Carolyn. We're really excited to have you guys on board, and we're really excited to launch you guys on Monday. Thank you so much for that introduction, Carolyn. You basically gave a very good synopsis of MoveEasy, but I'll be telling you a little bit more about the value of MoveEasy, exactly what we do and how we can help with your business. We're going to help your clients, and that will make you look very good to your clients and all your sphere of influence, and hopefully give you some repeat and referral business. I'll give you a quick overview of an example of what the client will see, a client dashboard, as well as an agent dashboard. So you guys will actually be getting your logins for MoveEasy. Should be getting them within the hour. So you should be able to set up your password, log in, start adding vendors if you'd like, and get ready to go for our launch on Monday. Excuse me. So if there are any questions as I walk through the agent dashboard and what you can do there, please let me know. I'll do a Q&A at the end. So you can go ahead and pop questions in the chat box. I'll just check them at the end of the presentation, or you can, raise your hand if you're on Zoom with the little hand icon. Carolyn can tell me about any questions in the training room, and I'm happy to answer all of them. So I'll get right to it. Why use MoveEasy? We actually created MoveEasy because NAR did a study a while back asking homebuyers and sellers how long they remembered their agent's name. And they only remembered their agent's name for a year, which is mind-blowing to me. All that sweat equity you guys put into helping people buy or sell a home, especially in these difficult markets. It was crazy that it's just a year and then your name and company is out the door. So we wanted to create MoveEasy to keep you top of mind with your clients. Everything is branded to you. So it looks like you're offering this white glove service to everyone. There's a platform that it looks like you created, even though MoveEasy created it, and it helps them with their move process. And then as they live in their house, they have access to your vendors. Everyone will need access to some type of vendor as they live in their house, whether it's a plumber, a painter, a landscaper, an interior decorator. They're going to need help as they live in that house, even if it's for as little as 3 to 5 years or as long as 20. They're definitely going to need access to the trusted pros that you have relationships with in your community. So this platform makes it easy for them to just log in, they see your branding, and they can access your vendors. And I'll give you a quick walkthrough of that a little bit. You can also use this to get new clients. So if you talk about MoveEasy to your clients, which you should, I'm going to hammer that home during the presentation. You should let your clients know that this is not spam, it is legit, and it is actually a free service for everyone for life. We're never going to ask for any money from you, the agents, or the brokerage, or from your clients, never. So you should talk about this to get new clients. Talk about it in your listing presentation, that it's a great move assistant and then home management system that they have access to for life. They have access to your vendors. They don't have to reach out to you. They can just log in and go ahead and access whatever type of vendor they may need. They can set up and change their internet and cable packages, and they can hire movers, apply for mortgages from your Motto mortgage partner. They can do all kinds of things, and all the branding is to you, the agent. So they're keeping you top of mind and hopefully getting you repeat and referral business. Hopefully as they're talking about MoveEasy or this platform that you, their agent, created for them, they're using it and they're enjoying it. And it's just so easy that they're telling their friends and family about it. And since everything is branded to you, that's a great referral for you. So it just goes to show your clients that you're willing to go the extra mile, but really everything is automated. You don't have to do anything. Once you add your vendors and whoever you want to your agent dashboard, that will show up across all channels. So as your clients search for a painter, if you just added a painter 5 minutes ago, it's already there. And That's really all you have to do. Once the transaction is under contract in Loop, everything is automated. So I'll go over that in a little more detail during the presentation. But the benefits for homeowners, these are the big ones that we've listed right here. So again, we're never going to ask your clients or your agents for any money for life. They have access to MoveEasy, and they'll have access to looking at your branding for life at the top of the web MoveEasy client dashboard. Any money that's being exchanged is between your client and whoever they decide to transact with. So if that is one of your vendors that they choose to do business with, or maybe it's whoever they decide to sign up for internet and cable or phone through within the MoveEasy platform, if they decide to hire movers through the platform, that's the transactional part. MoveEasy does not ever ask them for money. This is absolutely for free for life. And they also get a lifetime dedicated personal assistant. So Carolyn mentioned this. We have actual human beings who are there to help your clients as well if they need. You know, maybe your client isn't tech savvy, maybe they are just always away from a computer. They don't have a Google Home or Alexa, which they can sync with, MoveEasy can sync with, and they prefer to just call someone or text someone and say, hey, can you help me with this? We have a staff of people who are assigned to clients, and their sole job is to help them with their move or anything as it pertains to their house. That's even things like, hey, hello concierge, I just moved in and I have this puppy. What's a good vet in the area? What's a good dog groomer in the area? The concierge can go ahead and look around and research and help your client find things in the neighborhood that they may not be familiar with. So that personal assistant is there to help your client with anything as it pertains to their home or their neighborhood or anything in the area. The concierge also has access to up to $1,800 of free stuff, gift cards, and discounts. MoveEasy as a company has a lot of great relationships with other companies. So the concierge, in talking with your client, can offer a lot of these coupons if they, maybe need a lot of equipment from, say, Lowe's or Home Depot. They're working on a project, and if they talk to their concierge about this, the concierge can offer those deals up and help your client save a little bit of money. And your client can access MoveEasy through the web portal, through calling the concierge, and even through those voice assistants. So again, MoveEasy can be synced with Alexa and Google Home. So if your client is just at home, not by a computer, not by their phone, and able to call the concierge, they can go ahead and say, hey, Google, I need a painter. And Google Home will say, okay, your agent, Stephanie Shipman, recommends these painters, and will list all of the painters that you've added to your agent dashboard. And from there, your client can say, okay, set up calls with painter A, B, and C. And they can go ahead and set up those calls. They'll hear from the painters, get estimates, and they can hire someone that way. So we try to make it really easy and convenient for your clients. And the benefits for the agents, the most important one is we want you guys to stay top of mind and relevant with your entire sphere of influence. So they have access to, they have access to this for life. So that includes current and past clients. So every time they log into MoveEasy, every time they say, hey, Google, I need a painter, even Google is saying your agent, Stephanie Shipman, recommends X painter or whichever vendor it is. So we're constantly reminding the client that you exist, that you are an agent, that you put this together and you're helping them find vendors or whatever it is, and you're staying top of mind with them. And this also helps you stay engaged with them across all channels. So the web, the voice assistant, and then email, everything is branded to you. So when they get that invite from MoveEasy, that's branded from you. It looks like you are inviting them to MoveEasy. So again, that's why it's very important to let your clients know that this is coming. You have access to MoveEasy. It's a great platform that will help them with their move. And as they live in their home, all your vendors that you have personal relationships with will be within MoveEasy, and they should sign up. Everything is branded to you, the agent. So it looks like you're inviting them to MoveEasy. I'll show you an example of the emails, but very important to let your clients know that this is coming, so that they don't think it's a scam or some type of spam, because it does sound too good to be true, being for free for life, but I promise you it is not. It's legit. You can easily add all your local connections to your, excuse me, agent dashboard. As you make new connections, maybe you go to network events and meet vendors at various network events, and you always come back with various business cards and you want to add them to your dashboard so your clients can access them. And maybe you just want to support local in your neighborhood, you know, of an auto body shop or a bathroom modeler down the street, and you want to make sure that they stay in business and refer your clients to them. You can easily add them to your agent dashboard at any time. And again, all these features are available at no cost for life. So we're never going to ask for you for any money or your clients for any money. So these are all the things that your clients will need before they move: warranty, title, insurance, mortgage is also in that category. And RE/MAX 360 has 2 specific buttons that will push clients, if they need a mortgage, directly to Motto Mortgage, and directly to Insurance 360 if they need insurance. So I'll show you an example of what that button will look like, and the lead form that will go directly to your partner. If there's anything like home inspection that they need, that's something that they can gather estimates for. So I'll show you an example of how that works. The client will answer a few questions and gather some estimates. Mail forwarding and updating the driver's license. Instead of going to USPS for mail forwarding and paying $1, they can actually do that within MoveEasy. And we make it really easy because when the client signs up for MoveEasy, we ask them a few questions, you know, basic things: email, phone number, where they're moving from, where they're moving to, and their move date. So all of that is already pre-filled out. So it's very easy for them to just scroll down, hit submit, and it's done. They've saved themselves $1 and they've already forwarded their mail. So I'll show you exactly what that looks like. They can set up internet and cable through MoveEasy. So they can go ahead and peruse packages and set up a package right from MoveEasy, or call their concierge and have them set it up for them. So that concierge is staying on hold instead of them, instead of the client. And that's what that concierge is for. They're their personal assistant. They can do that. Your client can also set up utilities at their new address. So they cannot shut off their utilities at their existing house, but they can set them up at their move to house where they're moving to. So they can at least do that through the portal, and they can get that set up without staying on hold or trying to contact the utility company twice. Just shut off and then set up if it's a different utility company. And of course, they can hire movers through MoveEasy. We know there are lots of horror stories. I've experienced a few myself with a variety of movers, and we don't want any clients to have a bad experience with anyone. But with movers especially, we have stringent guidelines. In order to be in our system and part of the MoveEasy platform, they have to be A+ or A rated in the Better Business Bureau. They have to have been in business for at least 5 years, and they have to be insured. So those are just a few of our guidelines that we look at to put them in the platform to make sure that they give your client a really good experience, especially with their move. And with vendors and core services, this is where you, the agent, comes in. You have all these relationships with vendors around your community. You know who you trust for certain jobs. You know that these people will give your clients a quality service at a fair price. So you should refer your clients to them, and you can go ahead and enter them into the agent dashboard. I will show you how to do that in a little bit. And they can be added at the brokerage and agent level, excuse me. So we don't have any vendors added in the brokerage level right now. I believe everyone, Al and Carolyn, want you guys to add your own vendors in because those are your trusted relationships and you know who you'd like to refer your clients to. So I'll show you how to add them to your agent dashboard, and then they'll update across your site, across all channels immediately. When I say they'll update on your channel, let's say Katie adds someone to her agent dashboard. That person is only going to be on Katie's website as a vendor. It's not going to go across everyone's website. So your vendors, these relationships that you, the agent, has relationships with and you want to refer your clients to, they're only going to be on your website. When you log into your agent dashboard, that is your site that you're managing, no one else's. If at any point RE/MAX 360 wants to add any vendors at the brokerage level, those would be across everyone's website. So I hope that makes sense. And then this can give your clients access to the top tier service that all your vendors provides without really any of your time and effort. You add them once and it's set and forget it. So here's kind of how MoveEasy works. Once that listing goes live, if it's a seller or that transaction goes under contract in .loop, that's going to kick off the automated invite process. So you, the agent, are going to get an email first, and I'll show you an example in just a second. And it's going to say, congratulations on your transaction. We're going to invite your client. Now, at the bottom of that email, there's a big button that says disable invite. So if you don't want your client to get an invite to MoveEasy, maybe it's a land transaction, so it really wouldn't make sense for them to have a move-in home assistant for a land transaction. You hit that big button, you can't miss it, and your client will never be invited to MoveEasy. They'll never know it exists. But if you do want your client to get invited to MoveEasy, then 24 hours later, your client will get an invite that looks like this. I'll show you a bigger version in just a minute. It's got your branding on it, and it says, congratulations on your new house. Let's get you started and signed up for MoveEasy. So if you tell your client, hey, this is coming, it's legit, I'm going to send you an invite to MoveEasy, you should sign up, then they'll know that it is legit, it's got your branding on it, and they'll go ahead and sign up. Hopefully they'll be assigned a concierge. It looks like Steve Wilson is assigned in this case, and he will reach out to your client, one of the 3 communication methods, just trying to figure out which communication method your client prefers. So the concierge will text your client, call your client, and leave a message unless they get a hold of them, and email your client. And they're just doing that to figure out their preferred method of communication, to let them know, hey, you can access me all of these different ways. You can call, text, or email me, and I can help you with whatever you need. Just feel free to reach out. And then from there, if your client logs into the dashboard, I'll show you a live demo in a second, they can also schedule calls with their concierge through the platform. So there's lots of different ways to access the concierge. And finally, we have 2 separate support teams. We have one for agents and one for clients. So if you agents ever have any questions, you can always reach out to help@moveeasy.com. And your clients can reach out to their support team, customer service@moveeasy.com. There's also that phone number that they can reach them at. And I will send this slide to Carolyn at the end of this presentation, so everyone has this. Your clients can also ask the concierge any questions at all. I mean, they're there to help with MoveEasy, with anything as it pertains to their house, their neighborhood, where they're moving to. So they can also reach out to their concierge and ask them any questions that they might have. So let's show you some examples of the kickoff process. So once that transaction goes under contract, this is what the email that you, the agent, will receive. So it says, congratulations on your successful transaction with your buyer. All the details of MoveEasy. And here is that giant button at the end of the email that you can't miss. So if you don't want your client to get invited to MoveEasy, go ahead and hit disable invite, and they'll never receive it. But if you do want them to be invited, this is what their email will look like. So you'll have to let them know that it's coming, because it will be branded to you. There's the agent headshot, name, and the RE/MAX 360 logo will be in the upper left. So it'll say, buyer's name, welcome to your lifetime concierge. We're going to give you all these great things. Click here to get started. And what's going to happen is they'll answer a few questions. I believe they're asking just for their email, phone number, move from, move to addresses, and then the move date. And then this is what they will see. They'll go ahead and log into their client dashboard. So you can see a lot of that information is displayed right off the bat: their name, move from address, move to address, and move date. If this ever changes, this is always flexible, and they can go ahead and adjust it. There's their concierge. So Jeff Nevers, what a handsome guy. He's right there. He's right in the middle of the page. If they ever need help, he's right there. He says, hey, go ahead and schedule a call with me. I'm here to help. He's also going to follow, whoever the concierge is, will kind of follow the client along through the dashboard as they maneuver through it. Hopefully not in a creepy way. He's just trying to be helpful. He's just reminding them that he's there. He is available to call, to text if your client needs help. So with Motto Mortgage, this is a demo site I'm doing this through, but RE/MAX 360 has that great partnership with Motto Mortgage and Insurance 360. So we have these individual buttons where if your client needs a mortgage or insurance, they will go ahead and hit mortgage, and then the logo will be there, some text, and here's that inquiry form. It's already pre-filled out because based on the questions that we asked your client when they signed up, everything with a form is pre-filled out. So we make it really easy. Your client basically doesn't have to fill anything out. It's all automated. So for this, everything is here already. They just have to choose, do you want to be contacted by email or by phone? And when they hit submit, that's going to go to that lead capture right there. If you didn't have any partners or anything, it would just gather insurance, say get started, ask them some questions and give them some estimates for insurance companies. You guys are using Insurance 360, so that's going to look a lot like the mortgage button. And moving services, same thing. If I hit get started, it'll go ahead and ask some questions and gather estimates based on your client's needs for their move. If you can see at the bottom, Jeff has been there the whole time, just kind of following your client saying, hey, if you have any questions, you can talk to me. You can schedule a call or call that direct number. So he's not trying to be creepy. He's just there reminding your client that he's available. Now, here is where your client can go ahead and save $1. I know it's just $1, but we make it really easy for them to update their address. So here's where they can forward their mail. They can choose individual or family, and everything is pre-filled out. So here's their name, there's their move from address, their move to address. It's all pre-filled out. They had we autofill permanent. If it's temporary, they can go ahead and click that. And then the start date is their move date. So they can always change this. Maybe they want it to start Saturday instead of the day that they're moving, and then they hit submit. So that's it. They save themselves $1 and they've already forwarded their mail within the dashboard. Utility providers is where they can set up utilities at the address that they are moving to. So these are the utilities for Columbus, Ohio. They can place an order. If they hit do it yourself, that's going to take them to the utility website with the instructions for whatever that utility needs them to do in order to set up utilities. And for internet and cable, they can set that up here too. So rather than go to different websites, do their own research, spend hours, and then call their selected package provider and spend hours on the phone on hold, they could just do it right here. They could skip and show all offers. I'll do get started just to show you the questions that we get. So everything is auto-filled out. So this is where they're moving to. We'll hit continue. We're not going to need a landline, internet and TV only. We're a family of 3. And we're going to use the internet for all the things except for online games. We're not really gamers, but we are going to watch all the things on TV. So the top 3 packages are going to pop up first, like the best deals based on the money and the channel amount and the speed. But we list all the packages for your client to sift through. So they can go ahead and scroll down. We've got Spectrum, AT&T, DirecTV. If they want to filter by company, they can, or anything, maybe they just want TV, maybe they just want internet, they can use the filters on the left, and they can go ahead and select a package and set it up from here, call the company and set it up. Or there's Jeff at the bottom, they can go ahead and have Jeff set it up for them. That's what he's there for. The Trusted Pros page is where your client can access your trusted pros. So anyone you enter into the system will show up in the search right here. So we do this based on the vendor service area as well. So you'll have to know what counties your vendor services, just to make sure we're basing this on your client's move to address. If your vendor doesn't service a certain area, and that includes the area that your client is moving to, we don't want to give them access to a vendor who's going to call them and say, oh, actually, I don't service your area. So when they use this search box, even though they're pulling from your vendors, they do pull vendors that only service where they're moving to. So let's say, they're moving, we're moving soon. I know after I move, I usually want a home cleaner. I've had a lot of bad experiences where the oven is just never as clean as I want it. So I want a maid service for after I move in. Anything else I want to tell the pros? No. So just those few questions to kind of narrow it down among the vendors that you've added to your agent dashboard. And based on the client's move to address, it will populate those vendors. So we have a lot of home cleaners in this example in the agent dashboard. So from here, I can check these boxes and go ahead and confirm vendors. That'll gather estimates from these 2, and I can go ahead and choose the vendor from there. So very important that you add your vendors to your agent dashboard. Now, let's say there's a category that you don't have a vendor for, something very niche, maybe bath remodeler. You don't have any relationships with a bath remodeler quite yet. So if one of your clients does need a bath remodeler, you don't have one on your agent dashboard or one that will pop up. You might see on this ribbon here, it says agent verified. That means it's coming from your agent dashboard. It's a vendor that you've added. We don't want to give your client a 0 or no results. That's a bad experience. We have a relationship with, excuse me, with Home Advisor, and that's kind of like Angie's List, where it's a search engine specifically for vendors. So we will, instead of, giving them a 0 if there are no bath remodelers in your agent dashboard, we're going to use our partnership with Home Advisor and populate results from homeadvisor.com. In that ribbon, it's going to say Home Advisor instead of agent verified. So Home Advisor, since it is a search engine and they have lots of different vendors available, we are only going to populate vendors who have a 5 or 4-star rating. So we want them to have very high ratings to give to your client, and we'll populate those. Your client can also reach out to their concierge. Let's say the Home Advisor search results for bath remodelers maybe are just 2 or 3 and they want more. They can always go ahead and call Jeff and say, hey, Jeff, I got these results from Home Advisor, but can you go ahead and, make sure there are good reviews for them, make sure there are no 1 or 2-star reviews. I'm really picky. I want to work with a good bath remodeler. Or can you research and find some other ones that I can contact for estimates? And Jeff can go ahead and do that because he is your client's personal concierge, personal assistant. So now quickly, I'm going to go ahead and show you the agent dashboard. And when you get your logins pretty soon now, any minute now, when you log in, this is the default page. So you can manually invite people to MoveEasy if you'd like to, but you don't need to. Again, everything is automated. Once the transaction moves to under contract, everything is kicked off. So it needs to be under contract, not closed. Under contract implies that your client is getting ready to move, and MoveEasy starts off as a move assistant. So it needs to be under contract, and then that invite will automatically get kicked off. But when you log in, if you want to manually invite people, this is the default page when you log in. So you can go ahead and invite anyone manually that you might need to. Good examples of when you might want to manually invite someone would be maybe the seller, someone who is going to list with you. You can go ahead and invite them manually before their listing hits the market, because you want them to have access to your vendors like painters, maybe mold remediators if they have water damage, anything they might need to do or hire someone for to get their listing, get their home ready for market. So you can go ahead and click invite seller. We've got some dummy text that you can edit, but you can go ahead and add their information to the fields and hit send email. So if you want to manually invite anyone, you can go ahead and do that here. Most important part of agent dashboard, adding your vendors. So we try to make this very intuitive. Under my vendors on the left, hit add or edit vendors. All the vendors that are populated on your page will show up under the my vendor category. So right now, when you log in, there won't be any because there are none at the brokerage level. But as you add them, they will populate immediately and refresh immediately under the my vendors tab. So you can go ahead and add them 1 at a time, 5 at a time, if you want, just through the single vendor page. Very intuitive. Fill out the fields and then hit add vendor. You could also add multiple vendors if you've got a robust vendor program and you've got, like 50 vendors that you want to upload at a time. We recommend you download the template in that format that we need them uploaded in, and you can drop the CSV file right there, hit upload vendors, and these will update immediately. And any personal information that you might need to change, headshots or something that are updated relatively regularly, or maybe you changed your mobile number, you got a new website URL, you got married and you want to change your last name, you can do any of that in the profile section right here. So there's the headshot at the very end. If you update your headshot, any of this information, once you hit update profile, it's going to update immediately. So you should see your new headshot or your new phone number right away as it's updated. And that concludes my presentation. I see quite a few questions in the chat box. So let me go ahead and get to those first. How are the vendors vetted? Contractors, movers. Good question, Sean. So the vendors that you're adding are your mainly for the most part, your own vendors. So theoretically, you vetted these people that you are adding to your dashboard, and you know they're going to provide your clients with a good service, a quality service at a good fair price. In terms of movers, I think I mentioned that we have really stringent guidelines. Some of those are they have to be rated A+ or A, rated in the Better Business Bureau. They have to have been in business for 5 years and be insured. So we try to really give all clients a good experience and vet the vendors by upholding these stringent standards. Same with Home Advisor vendors. We only provide 4 or 5-star rating, nothing lower than a 4-star rating to your clients, because we want to make sure that they have good reviews and good experiences. So the vendors that you add are theoretically vetted through you, and others are vetted through our own stringent guidelines. Hours for a concierge service. I believe that our call center closes at 7 p.m. Eastern, but they can always text and call and leave a message and email, and they're there by 8 a.m. So it's 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., but they can reach out and that concierge will get back to them, definitely within a business day, depending on the day of the week. If it's a weekend, they might have to wait until Monday, but Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. are the general hours for the concierge call center. I'm looking for a vendor suggestion. Do we have access to other agents' recommendations? Not through MoveEasy. You would probably have to go ahead and physically ask your fellow agents for their recommendations, and see if they have any ideas for vendors that you could add to your dashboard. So if you don't have a vendor for, say it's the bathroom remodeler, but that Sean does. So you could go ahead and say, hey, Sean, do you recommend a bath remodeler? Could I add him or her to my MoveEasy site? And if Sean agrees or recommends, wants to give him or her lots of business, you could go ahead and add that person to your MoveEasy site. Does MoveEasy send emails or marketing to our clients? Good question. The only emails we're sending, they are branded to you, remember. So the only emails we are sending pertain, I'll go back over to this dashboard. Let me close this for just a second. We have a moving checklist. So based on your client's move date, this one is March 11th. We have a checklist right here, and we are going to send just one email a week with an item that they need to get done before they move. Right here, it's get moving quotes. This could also be something like set up your utilities, set up your internet and cable. We're reminding them once a week that they need to do these things, and it looks like you are reminding them because everything is branded to you. If this once a week up until they move email is too much for your client, they can always unsubscribe and just log into MoveEasy and set everything up when they want to. But we will send them once a week emails, and then when they move, those emails will stop because the checklist will be done and your client will have moved. So excellent question. Let me go back up here. Can we add other lenders and insurance companies? I think that's a question for Carolyn, because we do have those standalone buttons on the Remax 360 MoveEasy sites where your clients will be able to click that mortgage button, click that insurance button, and be pushed to Motto Mortgage and Insurance 360. If you have other lenders and insurance vendors, you could add them to the Trusted Pros section if they want to search that way. I think that might be a question more for Carolyn, since they added Motto Mortgage and Insurance 360 at the brokerage level.
And I can answer that, Stephanie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Am I muted?
No, you know, I can hear
yes, you can still. So the mortgage button will be Motto and an insurance button will be Insurance 360, but under your Trusted Pros, there is a mortgage and an insurance section, and you can enter your own people there. One thing I did want to note that I was going to say at the end that I can mention right now is as you noticed when she was on the mortgage page, that inquiry form went to someone. That form actually goes to me. It's my name, my email address on there. The insurance form is Christine Doyle in our Lynn office and her contact information. So if your client, 2 years from now or a year from now goes and does an inquiry with Model Mortgage, the first thing I'm going to do is go into Loop and find out who that client belongs to. And we'll reach out to you and let you know, your client reached out with a mortgage inquiry, especially if it's a pre-approval, we want to let you know about that so you can reach out to them. If it's a refi and we're offering some kind of, incentive, we want to make sure you get credit for that. So Christine and I will both be tracking anything that comes through the mortgage and insurance section, and we'll be sure that first thing we do is check the loop and see who the agent was and reach out to you and make you aware of that. But yes, you're welcome to put whoever you'd like in your trusted pro section.
Great. Thanks for clarifying, Carolyn. I think there are two more questions. So does the client receive email from MoveEasy once PNS is signed? So the client, there might be some feedback. You might have to mute, Carolyn. Thank you. So the client will receive the email from MoveEasy after you receive that email. So once the transaction is moved to under contract in Loop, you will get an email saying, we're going to invite your client. Is that okay? If not, go ahead and disable that. We'll go back to this email. It's that big button at the bottom there. So if you don't want your client to get any invites, you don't want them to sign up for MoveEasy, you hit that. Otherwise, they're going to go ahead and get an email. Again, it looks like this. So it's very important that you let them know that this is legit. It's coming from you. There's your branding. They will get an email 24 hours after you receive that email saying, just a heads up, we're going to invite your client. So that is when they're going to get an email from MoveEasy. And I forgot the last question. Over time, how will the connection with MoveEasy be maintained? How do you stay top of mind? That's a great question. So the idea is over time, they're going to be living in their house. They're going to need access to your trusted pros. So they're going to need painters, as we can see in this in this lovely graphic. They're going to need maid services, especially if they have kids and dogs. They're going to need landscapers if they move from an apartment to a house and they realize, wow, it's a lot to mow my own lawn and take care of hedges and bushes. So they're going to access your vendors every time they log into MoveEasy. They're seeing Remax 360 logo over here. They're seeing your beautiful headshot and your phone number and your name. So they're reminded that, oh yeah, Jane is so awesome. She created this site for me. And the idea is every time they log in and try to access your vendors, they're reminded of you. They keep you top of mind longer than a year, and they keep accessing these pros. Maybe they even need them more than once, so they can go ahead and keep searching for that painter that they use and love as they keep repainting or painting certain rooms that they need done. And then hopefully for their next move, they go ahead and log in here. They can let you know, hey, I'm going to be ready to upgrade, from a condo to a house pretty soon. And they're already accessing MoveEasy. They can reach out to you, the agent, for that next step in their real estate journey. They can hire movers. They have access to this for life. So basically for life, the idea is they keep you and Remax 360 top of mind and keep giving you referral and repeat business. And there was this.
And Stephanie, if I could pop in and say one thing.
Sure.
We looked at a lot of similar services, and one of the reasons why we really liked MoveEasy is Stephanie and I keep saying MoveEasy, but to your clients, this is just Remax 360 and Remax 360's concierge service. The email's going to come from Remax. The website will say Remax. I was surprised.
Yes.
I put myself in earlier this week as a sample, and someone called me and said, this is Joe calling from Remax. To your clients, they just hear Remax and hear your name. They're not going to, to them, this isn't going to be MoveEasy. This is going to be Remax's personal concierge platform. So that will help, drive in that this is a Remax product and a Remax service. They're not going to be thinking of this as MoveEasy.
Right. That's an important clarification. I'm glad you jumped in, Carolyn, because yes, the concierge does not say this is MoveEasy. We don't want to confuse your client, and everything is branded to you. So I'm glad you did that, Carolyn. That was a good secret shopper.
Well, it surprised me when he called me. He was like, this is Joe from MoveEasy. And I was like, from Remax. And I'm like, who is this? But when they call you, they say Remax, they don't say MoveEasy. So again, will help keep you top of mind with your clients because this is a Remax service. And every time they look for a contractor or look for someone, they're going to the Remax site with your picture, or if they're calling their concierge, they're calling their Remax concierge. So it's not a MoveEasy product to your client. It's a Remax product.
Right. Yes.
Ooh, can you hear me? Oh, it's kind of a. Do you want to, I'm gonna mute.
Can you hear us? We're having some technical issues. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Echo.
Oops, did I cut out there? All right. Oh, Carolyn, I think you're muted. I don't know if I cut out. I apologize. But we can't customize that text, but if you manually invite someone, you can customize that text in the agent
Want
dashboard.
me to keep it up? Keep the volume up, yeah.
And Katie, I see you have a question. Your hand is up.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you mute?
Oh, yeah, should I put it down?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Can you hear me now? Am
Yes.
I'm just gonna turn mine up,
Can't hear
And then
me.
turn yours up. Okay.
but you guys can hear me.
Yeah, of course.
Can everybody hear me on the Zoom? Hi, I see Barbara White Kennedy. So I think I've lost my question at this point. What was my question? What was the last thing we just went over? I'll bring me right back.
The customization of email
Yeah.
intro.
Oh, the Remax. So
yeah.
what if my client is in the system and they have this concierge service and then they call my concierge to ask for a copy of their deed or like, something that's not related to, because they think it's Remax. So they might call for something else that they don't do.
Yes.
Will that person know what to do?
Yes, that person will, the concierge can see the agent attached to every client. Like they can see the back end, everything. So if they ask for anything real estate related, document related that they do not have access to, the concierge will refer the client back to you, the agent who would have that information, and just kind of say, oh, the branding's up on top in case you forgot. It was Katie and there's her phone number. You can go ahead and reach out to her. And I'm happy to send you her email if you don't have that. Because the concierge has that information in the back end. So they will know to refer the client to you guys, the agents. That's a good question. And I did see this other chat question real quick. When does the client get the first email from MoveEasy? Is it pulling from Dotloop? Yes, so that's why it's very important in Dotloop that you make that transaction under contract. If you move it directly to closed, nothing will go out from MoveEasy. Your client will never get invited because we think that the move is over. So it's very important to move that transaction to under contract in Dotloop. That will kick off the email to you first, the agent. If you want your client invited, you do nothing. It's just a heads up that we're going to invite your client. And then the client will get that email 24 hours later. So very important to move the transaction to under contract in Dotloop and let your clients know that this email is coming and they should sign up. Any other questions? Those are great questions. What happens if a few years of owning the property decide to go with another brokerage? Well, hopefully they don't do that because they've been accessing the vendors that you've been providing and you've been providing a great service. I honestly can say I haven't had I haven't known any experience or clients that have switched unless they moved out of state. If it was a relocation, then they obviously have to switch brokerages. Those are the only instances I know that they've done that, but they've still been able to use MoveEasy and thought their agent was great because they provided great relocation service through MoveEasy with a personal assistant. But I think that's, I can't really answer that, unfortunately, because they'll still have access to MoveEasy for life. So it'd be a little weird if they decided to go with another brokerage, but are still accessing your vendors. Good question though. Any others? Oh, Katie, sorry.
So can we shut their account off if that happens?
You probably could. Yeah, I haven't gotten this question and I haven't ever been asked this, but I do believe that you could, because you can go ahead and opt anyone out. You can opt your client out. You can opt out as an agent. So you would probably just reach out to help at MoveEasy and say, hey, I found out that this client went with another brokerage, or, you know, they moved and they didn't use me. Can you go ahead and shut off their account? And we could definitely do that. We would just opt them out. Great question. I've never gotten that question, but that is a good one. Oh, Erin.
Hi, sorry, I may have missed this because I had to take my dog out. So when they go to the vendor list and they contact the vendor, is there a way for the vendor, aside from them verbally telling them, to know that the referral came from us? Like, is there some kind of, like, how do they, is it just their information, or are they, if they click on something, does it open up a box to email them, or what, how does that work?
Good question. There isn't really a way that the vendor will know that the referral came from you or Remax 360 Concierge, i.e. MoveEasy. The client is just requesting an estimate. So they will basically schedule a call and have the vendor call them, kind of like how if a vendor is on homeadvisor.com, like they get a notification like this person wants to contact you. When you enter a vendor into the system, you're entering all of their information, their contact information, their phone number, and their email. So they will get notified. So it might be a good idea to let your vendors know, we've got this great program. It's Remax 360 Concierge. It's powered by a company called MoveEasy. It's kind of similar to Home Advisor, where my clients are going to be able to search for vendors, and they may come across yours, your services, and want to ask you for an estimate. Because they will get an email or a call, depending on how your client wants to receive the estimate or wants to schedule that estimate gathering information. They'll get that information. So it is a good idea to let your vendors know, we're using this new service, we're calling it Remax 360 Concierge. It's powered by MoveEasy. So if you get random emails, those are probably from my clients. I'm referring you out to my clients, and they're just asking for information to possibly hire you. So that's a good question. That's a good point, that you should let your vendors know about this as well, so they're not taken aback and like, wait, I'm not on Home Advisor. What is this? Tell them that you're adding them to this Home Advisor type of search where your clients will be able to search for them. Do we make it clear that we are only recommending and we are not responsible for their work? We do have legal language at the bottom of the page when they gather estimates from vendors. We do have legal language there saying we're not responsible. That includes MoveEasy and you, the agent, and you, the brokerage. When you tell your clients about MoveEasy, might be a good idea just to remind them of that. Like, MoveEasy and Remax 360 are not responsible for any experiences. And you should let them know that if they have a bad experience, you probably want to know about it, because you might want to remove that vendor from your MoveEasy site. So it's all about communication, letting your clients know about the services, letting them know about the vendors, and then have them let you know about feedback. Because even if it's negative about a vendor, you want to take that vendor off of your agent dashboard, so you're not referring them out. Good question. And you can just let them know that no one's getting a kickback, that the only money being exchanged is between the client and whoever they decide to transact with, excuse me, and there's no kickbacks. Yes, Erin, is there another question?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the web page you showed us, which had the Remax 360 in the upper left-hand corner, for someone to access the vendors, do they need to have an account through us? Or for instance, if I'm on like a community page and someone like say I'm on Salem Mamas. So if someone says I really need a painter, can someone recommend it? Can I send them to a link to my web page, or do they actually have to be signed up via email to access the vendors?
That is a good question. They actually have to be signed up. The only people who can access your MoveEasy site are people who are actually moving. So the idea behind the repeat and referral business, and that's where the manual invites come in. Let's say on that web page, someone is saying, I need a painter. And if you want to reach out and say, well, I have this page and you can access, I know of a great painter, but you have to sign up for this MoveEasy site. You can manually invite them through your agent dashboard, but they do have to sign up and enter information in order to access the MoveEasy site. So that is a very good question. You can't just, if you send them the URL, they have to sign up. And they have to get that invite to get started. So everything is automated through Dotloop unless you manually invite people. So if you want to manually invite people, if people are posting on a group page or something like that, you can go ahead and do that and get them access that way, but they do have to sign up. So you'd have to explain that they have to sign up in order to view it. Were there any, oh, that's, who is that? I'm
Barbara?
Wit, yeah, Barbara.
Hi, guys. My question is about the button for the mortgage. If we're not signing up a buyer until they're already under contract, they would already have had a mortgage. So are we proactively adding them as we first go on, start working with them, even though they're not under contract? Or do we not really have that service unless you're a seller where you are maybe putting them in earlier so they have access to the painters and stuff, and then in their new buy they would be using the mortgage people?
That's a good question. You can manually invite a buyer before you go under contract with that buyer. Since they're not yet under contract, under move date, you could probably just put a date far off in the future, and then the client can adjust it as they go under contract. And then nothing would be automated because they would already be invited. But yeah, that is a good question. We get that question a lot. Really, the mortgage button is there because it's there for life. So if they want to do repeat business, get a mortgage through Motto Mortgage for their next time, it's there. Same with insurance. But that is a good question. If you want them to have access to Motto Mortgage through MoveEasy, you could just go ahead and manually invite them as you start working with them.
Because I know the insurance, you wouldn't be doing it necessarily until then. So that's a good button to have, but I was just wondering why the mortgage, but makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions? I don't see any new ones in the chat. Are any other questions in the training room, Carolyn?
I'm sorry, I'm just having Kitty put her volume down so we don't echo. Any questions in the training room? We've been asking them. Sean and Roberta, you guys put your questions in there, right?
Yeah.
You're good. No, I think that's it for questions. I did notice that my invite came to my email during the class.
Okay, good.
So we
Great.
did, just to let everyone out there know, we did provide MoveEasy with a file with everyone's information, with everyone's headshots. I think a few of the headshots didn't post or come through. You can go right into your profile and add it when you log in. Also know that I do have admin access to the entire portal, including being able to go into your accounts and change and add information. So if anyone needs help updating their profile, updating vendors. Mark, do you have a question?
Can we co-brand it?
Co-branding, yeah. So it's one account, but you could do, I would say, remember, it's going to integrate with Dotloop. So if you're on a team, you'll want to set that, sync that account up with whoever that contract comes through as under contract on Dotloop. So for like Marcy and Roberta, Marcy, you would set yours up with both of your logo, with your team logo, and everything will flow from Dotloop into that one account.
So we only need one.
You only need one if you're on a team. So remember,
Right,
it's the contract going under contract that initiates the email. So if you're on a team and you have your own account, but you don't ever put anything in Dotloop under your MLS number, then you'll never, don't worry about it. Then don't even work with that account.
Because it all goes under our team.
Right. You can always, if you're on a team and you do want to have your own account to invite some of your own people, you can do that. But just remember, it's all integrated with Dotloop in terms of the automated emails. And that automated email happens based on a loop going under contract.
I would just put it in under our. Yeah, okay.
Any other questions from anyone?
No?
So again, reach out to me if you need any help with your account. We do have access to your accounts on the back end. You should have your basic agent information in there and your headshot in there. You might want to swap it out for a team headshot. But we're really excited for it. It starts on Monday. I did record this call and I'll be posting it. I'll be emailing out to everyone and posting it on the private page and the closed YouTube page later today. And you know, we launch on Monday. So if you have something go under contract on Monday, then you'll get the email first. You'll have the option to opt out if you don't want to do it. And then another 24 hours later is when your client receives the email. So I'm ready for email. I'm ready for calls from agents next week saying, why'd I get this email?
Exactly. Tell your clients.
Right. And we'll continue to, you know, send out our reminders. And another question, I don't know if we were muted when they answered it. Katie's going to be doing Moxi Present. We did put pieces, MoveEasy pieces in the Moxi library for your CMAs and buyer presentations. They are the ones that MoveEasy supplied for us, and we likely will be rebranding those and making them a little more Remax looking, but there are MoveEasy pieces inside Moxi today for you to add to your CMAs.
That's what I can't find right now, Carol.
I'm not sure where Katie put it. Julie just asked, this is for buyers and sellers. So anytime a loop goes under contract, so if you have a buyer, you'll want to make sure that when you put that loop in that you're using an under contract status to initiate that email, or you can go in and enter the person manually yourself. I think we're good. No other questions. People feel free to reach out to me if anyone has any questions after. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you so
We're
much
all
for
going to
your
stay
time.
on. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks,
We'll let you know
everyone.
if you have any questions.
Okay.
Bye. Oh, wait.
Bye.
Oh, yep. You're
Oh.
sharing your screen. Katie will take over the screen. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye. So in 1 minute, Katie's just getting ready here. Katie's going to do, we can see you on your screen running, Katie. So Katie's going to go through, we did have a lot. So we've done a lot of Moxi seller presentations. Those are recorded. If anyone needs a refresher, let us know. Katie has been going around to offices and scheduling one-on-ones with people too. So just let her know if you want to do that. But we've had a lot of requests to specifically talk about buyer presentations. So I'm going to mute myself, Katie, and you can go ahead.
Can everybody hear me now? Okay, great. Okay, cool. All right, so just in full disclaimer, I have not used this myself. I'm just learning it right now, just like we did on our first presentations for the seller side, which I know very well now. So I'm just going to show it best I know it. I think I know it pretty well.
There we go.
Yeah. Now you can't. Oh. All right, now you can't see anyone back. So here we go. So I'm going to screen share. So if anyone does not have their Moxi login yet, my.moxiworks.com, Moxi has no E, MOXI works.com. Just let us know. You can put it in the chat here. Carolyn can resend it to you. I use my Moxi works at the top here.com. It brings me right to my page. Yep. They both work. It's okay. So sorry, I'm going to keep going. So you're going to see this page here when you first log in. I just want to make sure everybody on here, is anybody on here not have their login? I guess if you don't, I would recommend just waiting for it later and just watching this, and you can always, you can always rewatch this after. But this is what you want to click here, Moxi Presents. So if you have not used this before, you're going to see one icon here that looks kind of like this one that says seller presentation. There might be another one that says buyer presentation. I forget, it's been a little while since I've first logged in. So I think what we can do is, here's the seller. I have the 3 seller presentations. One's the sample tour. One's a sample seller packet. Go talk in the other room. And the other one's just a non-listing packet that you might maybe hand them without any listings in it. So what I'll do is maybe, how will I start this? Maybe I'll just create new. So you know what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to send what an email would look like if you were going to send a buyer a tour. Another thing you might send your buyer is if they liked a house and you want to send them comparables to the house that they like because they want to put an offer in on it. So that would be a reason why you would send a buyer a presentation, because you're just sending them other comps and why you think they should overbid or why their number is going to work is because look at all these other houses that have sold in the area. So it's pretty much a seller's presentation you're sending them, but on the subject property. So that's what this one's going to be. So this would be the seller tour. I think it's this one right here. Let me just confirm it's the seller tour. Nope, so sorry. The other one is the seller tour. I'd like to email it to myself and then you guys can see what your buyer is going to get as an email. Boxford, nope. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to make one really quick. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make a quick buyer tour. So what you're gonna do is go to this button right here, create new, buyer tour, continue. Right now, you only have the option of the brokerage template. I'll show you once you make a buyer tour that you like, you can save also anything that you pull into your buyer tour. You don't have to pull it in every time. You can make your own template and call it template one, template, whatever you want to call the template. So I'm preparing this for Katie D. It always doesn't do much when you hit enter and then you'll see the circle momentarily. That drives me nuts. Did I click it? So what the goal here is so you're sending them listings to go out on open houses because you can't make it with them. So what I'm going to do is go to the search. There's options. I think this is what shows up on their the cover email. I'm not exactly sure. We'll get to that. So location. I like this tool here. So my buyer is kind of searching in a wide range. I don't want to put an address in for that reason. Let's say just for the sake of ease, they're in the Gloucester, Rockport, Essex, maybe Plum Island. Zoom out a little. I'm going to just draw a circle. Quick draw. Let's see here. Plum Island. They'll go a little into Georgetown just over the highway. They don't really like Manchester by the Sea. By price, I'm going to say, obviously there's nothing that low, but I'm going to cap it at $750. Apply. Now I want to go to filters. I don't want to see the solds. Pending, off, maybe off market, I don't think. And then I'm going to apply. So here we go. There's fewer here. I believe if I click filters, I can do an in-person open house this weekend. But you know what? I'm sending them out on Saturday. So I don't want to see Sunday's open houses. I'm going to click apply. I have 4 houses to pick from. Obviously, this is a slow market. This actually makes it a little easier for us on where we're going to send them. When you click on the details, in the upper right-hand corner shows you the time. So you want to look Saturday. This might take a pad and a pencil, 10 to 12, because you want to put these in the correct order. 12 to 2. So that one's in the correct order. 11:30. So that would be second, but then again by location, 11.
So Katie won't pull by hour, it won't give the earliest one.
I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
I would think it would, and I'm a little stumped by it, to be honest. So I'm just going to show you what I know. And if anything approves, you're going to put on your dress. If I improve on this, or if anybody improves on what I'm showing you, please. So I'm just going to click forward to listings. You can just click or continue. Oops, so sorry. I didn't click. I didn't actually accept those. You have to check them off. That's a good point. So then you can click listings. So at the bottom, I could have clicked continue, or you don't have to. It saves automatically and you click listings. So here they are again. Here's the listing details, and you can see the listing details again and put them in the correct order. I believe, you have to click change order. This one was here, maybe here, save order. But then I want to look at the map here because you don't want to send them here. That's a kind of a funky route, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what the time is for now. It takes a little bit of work. So the time for number 2 is to 1:30, 11:30 to 1:30. So I mean, either we're starting them at 11:30, but we're hoping they'll be done and time. So maybe 1, 2, this is 11. So maybe we can put that one first. 1, 2, 1, 4, I think 1, 4, 3.
Three should be full.
This should be 4, you think?
Yeah.
So is that correct now or no?
And come back south.
This one? Gloucester's 4,
Yeah. I'll do Gloucester last.
1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll just say,
Fine, I think.
and this might be a video you make. Hopefully, maybe you know they're less interested in Gloucester, or maybe they can't make all 3 and you have to have a discussion before you send it. The good news is you can say, take a look at these. Let me know if you want to remove one. Because then you just remove it and the tour changes to like that. So you could add a custom listing if it didn't pop up for some reason. If a house doesn't have an open house, but you have an appointment, you can put that listing in and in the time and just let them know in the notes or wherever. And then here's the pages. So this is if you did want to add, so this is the pages that Moxi Auto puts in, the map, the listing overviews. We all know that if you click on them and I'll show you what it looks like in email, the side-by-side comparisons. You know, personally, I don't think they care to compare the houses that they're looking at. That's just me personally. I think it's a lot of too much information personally, but this is an option in the buyer packet. You can show them. Yeah, like here, this isn't bad because they can print this one page. It just shows them the addresses. But the email is the best. Again, there's a lot of information you can send them. I just want to send them the open house and the times of it personally. And then I can say, this is where I would save it as template 1. I probably wouldn't save this because it is just that. But so add a page, add from library. This is the only place you're going to see the brokerage pages. All the Moxi pages are here. This is where you can add and remove them, or you can just X them on the side here that you want them removed. So again, I'm just going to remove. I don't need the comparisons. I don't need the averages for me. You guys can choose days on market, listing averages, remove. Price and size. I think if I'm going to compare price and size, I'm going to send them when they like the house, a report about other houses that are similar. This is a tough market to even send them. They just got to get the house in this market. There's no like showing them other comps of the values there because they have to just do what they get. But this is going to be a good tool when it's not a seller's market and they really do want to pay value. But it's great that we have that. It looks great. So I'm not going to, I'm very happy with this tool. So I'm going to look at the brokerage files. It's always a folder. And I did put some buyer things in here. So the buyer timeline, blue and red, if you chose to put it in there. Now, this is probably better for when you're going to maybe hand them a packet when you meet them at a house. Here you go, like you're introducing yourself, you want them to work with you. You've already met them a couple times and you're kind of soliciting them. Maybe you're putting a buyer agreement in the packet. And there's a couple other buyer. I put all these in for my other presentation. So we'll look at that in a second. Pages. So this is what it would view if it was sent an email, and then I'll send it an email. So I wonder where that picture is that I didn't import. Maybe it would be right here in the back where the gray is, just like in the seller.
Yeah.
This is where that picture would be. I don't know what picture I would put there for a buyer going on open house tours. Maybe I can find one in Canva.
Pretty house, but yeah.
Yeah. This is their tour. This is where they can be on their phone and be like 4th Street. I don't know if I really want to see 4th Street. They can click through the photos. They see the open house times. And maybe they want us to remove it from their tour, or they like it and they're like, can we get in sooner, so that they can, be interactive and look at the listings. You could add something to this, no matter what, once you send it, it's editable on the back end. So they receive it once, don't worry, you can take a house down, put one in, they can work off the same email. So I made it very short because I took out all the rest of the hoo-ha. This is just for them to go on open house tours. We all know they're going to get probably 7 or 8 of these emails because it's hard to get a house under contract. So what I think is really neat, what's the most important part is what it looks like when you send it to them. Don't mind my typing. Actually, I'm just gonna write 1, 2, 3, so you all know what, or 2, 3, 4, what would go there if you would write more, just to save time. I'm gonna go over to my email. It's Friday, so I get extra junk mail today. It should come through very soon. There it is. I didn't click off to, oh, I did actually. This is what I get, or you would get, and it shows the email that you sent it to. And then they see it without that little block, this block right here. So they see it like this. Open house tours this weekend. See, I mistyped, I knew I did. And then the paragraph 2, 3, 4, where I wrote below, this is what they're seeing. And right below it says view buyer tours. Your picture, your name, your telephone number, Remax 360. It's blue just like this. And then here are the 3 houses and directions. Oh, excuse me, 4 houses and directions. I highly recommend you do not add it printable, of which I think I did. There's a box that you click off that says add printable version. I'm going to show you why. Oh, good. That's only 1 page. Let me just make sure, because it ends up being way too many pages, and you know how buyers are. Sometimes they'll print it one-sided, or it's just that first page. So that's not a big deal. So this is an order that I said 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it shows the directions. The one thing I've noticed is it doesn't actually say the open house times on the email, but they do know where they're going next based off of their cell phone email that I gave them. So maybe a good thing I might do is put the 3 addresses and the times of the open houses, so that as they're going on their tour, they can just look at the email. They don't even have to open anything and go into the tours. Otherwise, they could click here, and this is literally what they're opening. It's super cell phone friendly. So they would just log in with their cell phone, and they would see the map. They would see the houses. They would see the times by clicking on it. Again, small flaw on my side that I see, that could be a question, Carolyn. The open house times aren't very in your face. So they're getting the buyer tour, but we kind of got to go out of our way and make sure they're aware of the start and the end time. So they're not showing up 5 minutes late or 5 minutes early. But it's very nice looking, and what a great way. So you can add a video if you don't know. And I think this is a great one to add a video to if you're comfortable. So here's my presentation. Add a page, create new, build a page. Create, and then I would video, and you would add a URL from Facebook that you would upload, or Vimeo. Am I saying that right? I always say Vimeo. Or YouTube. So what I would say here is, let me just go back a page and take a look. Let me look at the locations. Hey, Miss Steve Virgilio. Take a look below. I have you going to 4 open houses today. I put the start times and end times here in this email below, or in the email for you not to have to click this link again. Starting at 8 Parker Street, I talked to the agent. She's going to let you in early. If you show up, she'll be there half an hour early, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just, I can't make it. I'm at my own open house. And then they're being solicited by all these agents out and about without me. So I want to make sure, like, I'm solidifying the bond. I'm with them, even though I'm not with them. And like, hey, don't forget to sign in my name. You don't have to sign in your own name, or I gave you that stack of business cards. Just hand that to them when you walk in the door. Just depends on your stuff. You know, it depends on, or I'll meet you at the second house. As you know, I can't make it until the 3rd house. I'll wait for you out front. You know, whatever the message is, it's very personable to see the video if you're comfortable with it. It took me a long time to get comfortable with video. I think this Zoom class has helped me. I just don't care anymore. So that's that.
If they had the pointer on like number 1 and it would show pop up the open house.
The open house, right. I'm like, there's got to be a glitch, or like, I don't, it just doesn't seem to me that it's an option. We have to just go that extra step.
Yeah.
But it is a beautiful presentation to send them, and it probably just still saves us time because it like helps them, I think. But so I'm just going to go back. So that was the buyer presentation. Because I don't remember what I built here. I'm just going to go half-fill buyer tour. That's where it is. Here's my my non-listing packet. I don't know what I did, so I'm just going to click the edit button. I made this last night. So this is in work. So basically, when you're on the home page, you would create a page, and then I believe it said non-listing. This is, and then this is, whoops. Oh, of course, the bar's in the way. Get rid of this. No one else can see that, right? Except for me. Well, yeah. Again, I did it again. Click, you have to click on this. I keep on clicking on the picture. The edit button. And I've added all these pages. So the only page I think that this automatically comes up with is the cover, and then the back page, which is just your contact information, which I did delete. And I've started to add some buyer pages, the tax rates in the towns. Buyers should know that. I don't think buyers think of this. This is just if you're sitting with a buyer, you're starting to work with them, they're looking at the different towns, they're a little picky, they don't even know where they want to live. This is a good way to kind of harness them in. It gives you your resume. This is the back page because you might laminate it. And then what I have done is, it's a work in progress. And they're in Canva right now, but they're not finalized. But I didn't want to not give you guys anything, so I did add them to our Moxi. You guys know where our Canva templates are in Moxi. And then under Moxi, buyer guide 1 and buyer guide 2. In Google Drive, under the Canva links, template links. Yeah, did I say that wrong? Yep, and then here's Moxi in the Canva templates in Google Drive. And buyer guide, I'm just gonna click on 1. 1 is already done and ready to go. Which is this one. The other one has like a rewritten paragraph over and over and over. It is truly a template you have to build off of. So it just depends on how much you're willing to put into it. I am going to take something based off of this, brand it Remax 360, and put the pages in individually and let people take them as you don't want to be in Canva, you don't want to bother. I just don't like some of the cursive in here. So I want to make it more for us. So I have it just so you guys know that are in the room, and I'm sorry for everybody on the thing. I do have it printed out right here. And bound. And then for you people on the Zoom, because I know it's not just the people on here, I have it in Moxi page by page. So this is without changing out the photos, without adding your personal contact information. So if there's a page that actually has like contact information, you'll have to take it out. Add a page, add from library, brokerage templates. So you have to get to brokerage templates through pages in a presentation for anyone that's new to Moxi. So again, when you're in Moxi Presents and you see templates, this is the main page again. When you see my templates, the company templates aren't there. You can only get to the company templates if you're in a presentation and you hit one of these pencils, and then you go to pages at the top. So this is just a presentation. So there's only pages at the top. Add a page. Add from library, and here are my personal pages that none of you can see. They're bogus anyway. And here are the brokerage pages. So you click on this. So there's a few different folders here, and then a couple on the bottom. I just rearranged it last night. So seller's guide, there's a couple things under here. Pricing your property. I just made this a couple days ago. Some people like to have a pricing page before. Seller timeline red. Here's seller timeline blue. I printed this out and this got cut off the bottom line. So what I'm going to do is, you guys won't even know. I'm going to move it up and switch it out. But I did realize that just today when I printed out my sample, which is up here. Seller's net proceeds. This is just the basic of the basics. That's in here for you guys to grab. That's the seller. Buyer. I have the buyer template blue. And then here is the buyer packet that I just showed you. I'm going to name the pages. I'm in the process today. And then just click on them one at a time. You can see what they are. As you see, not a lot of people are a fan of cursive unless it's actually clear to read, because it's not just you reading it. So you saw the sample, nothing's here. It's just, it's very plain and generic. So I'm just going to scroll down to another one. Mortgage guide. I'd like to run this page by Mike Roberts and Carolyn. If we can get, it won't be branded motto or anything, but I'd like to get some up-to-date good information, a couple mortgage pages that we can hand to the buyers. You guys can cut, there's a page in here that you can customize in Canva, or we can sit down on a one-on-one, or send me the lender's contacts and I'll throw it together. Just do it sooner or later. At some point, I'm going to start selling again. I'm not selling right now, so send me anything you want. And you can have your preferred lenders. I think we're supposed to recommend 3 if I'm not mistaken. So 3, you can make an attorney page for them. You can make a lender page. You're working with the buyer. They might not be pre-approved. That's great to have in a packet. And then they have this thing that they can kind of, their roadmap to success. So again, there's lots of pages to pick through. I'm going to name them whatever it says at the top, what not to do, change jobs, MLS. So this is great. I mean, some of the stuff, but this is, to me, this is a little plain. And even just looking at it printed, the gray is kind of funny to me when I'm looking at it. So I'm going to powwow with some of the people here today, maybe get some feedback, make a little altering. And then maybe I'll leave this folder here under the buyer as like number 1. And then number 2 will be the cleaned up, less cursive, less gray. But just, this is the buyer presentation. So you can just do a packet like this. So they're not going to want to get all this stuff when you're sending them a tour. They're already with you. But this is great if you're just going to print it out and hand it to them, or maybe you're going to email this to them. So if you're going to email it to them, view, it's just going to be the 1 page, but it would show up just like everything else. And then whatever pages you picked, it always has your cover page. Oh, sorry, it's viewing the thing I made before. It would just view that 1 page if I only had that page, and that's what it is. I could pull that 1 page over. We should probably, oh no, we wouldn't add New Hampshire. That's great. So I'm gonna go back to the main page again. The other buyer presentation that I didn't go over yet is pretty much the seller presentation. It's just called buyer presentation. It's gonna be hard for us to use it now. As I said, I think it's gonna be a roadblock for us and our buyers, because if I was to make this presentation for a buyer that's contemplating an offer, there's like 13 offers, like they're not going to get the house. I'm wasting my time making this. But if maybe it's a house that's really high price and it's been on the market a really long time, I would want to make a buyer, let's see, a buyer tour. Here it is. I think I use Cursus's property here. This is on the market. So this is me saying, I'll just view it so you guys can see the end product. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I'm going to show you why I think this house is underpriced and they're going to get over asking bids. I'm going to send this to them in an email. This is her main photo, so that's why it's at the top. This is the subject property at Murray Street, if it's even still available. Here are the sold properties and under contract properties. Here they are listed out in another way, pending contingent. So I think her asking price was for, what was it? Where's the price? Did I miss it? Subject property. I guess I have to know the price. Here it is. $435. X out of it. And then here are the properties I'm showing her why I think it's going to get higher than $435. Hers is a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, like a small colonial. It shows them on a map, shows where the comps are on a map, and I know she's going to get inundated. And if I know Cursus, she staged the heck out of the house. It looks a little dated, but it's a crazy market, and this is a low price. It's under 5. I think the average price in Lynn is 5. And then here they are side by side, so they can see the lot sizes are the same. I can be on the phone with them. Are you looking at the side by side? You're looking, all right, I think we got to go, we got to escalate at least to this number. I think it will comp there. And this is what, we're going through all the things we normally do, but it's a visual for them. For price by square foot, bathrooms, her house is a 1 bath. This one has 2 bathrooms, it's closer to 5. And then it just shows the low price, the high price. So this is like you got a needy buyer that really needs to walk the road. This is a great chart here. It shows more time on market, how the price goes down, but her property is brand new. It's going to sell on the high. It shows that they're not going to wait. They need to go high. Price by size. Sorry, I kind of messed that up, which shows right. And then here's my contact information. That's it. I don't think I'd add any extra hoo-ha pages because this is just really about the chances of me getting the house, even with a good offer, is rare. This is just up to me about just doing what I can to get their number higher. I would send them this. And I basically just made, again, a seller presentation under the buyer presentation tab. And I'm just comping it with a live property to show them that they should put a higher offer, really, and where it's gonna comp and why they're gonna go 20 over and probably have to bring the cash because there isn't a comp. And I'm showing you what it's gonna appraise for now, or, however we wanna handle it. So before I keep on jumping around, I know that people who don't know Moxi are probably getting a little confused by the tabs. Does anybody have any questions, Carolyn? I can't see the chat. Does anybody here want me to quickly go through the seller presentation, or is it all buyer?
The one thing, I'll unmute myself. When you showed the buyer packet that they can just print out and go with, I think for most people, the easiest thing to do would be to create new and create just a presentation, because that's just a blank presentation. I was just wondering, when you start from a blank presentation, do you still have access to the library to pull the pages
Yes.
in? So I think
It's the same library either way.
maybe you could walk through once creating that, because then someone could create their buyer packet that they just print. And then anytime they log in, they could just click on it and print and go.
Okay, so just for a grab and go,
I don't know if people realize that presentation option that's separate from it. It doesn't create a CMA or a buyer tour, it's just a blank.
it's just a blank presentation. So
Maybe
that,
like the seller thing, when you have comps, you're gonna get all the MLS pictures. So you could have a seller pack page of 68 pages.
if you go to
$100
print the open house tours and stuff, you got to be careful.
Careful for the box.
You're right. So I'm just going to quickly, before we do what Carolyn just mentioned, Sean just made a great point. So when I'm under cursuses, like, for example, is that a good presentation? For example, I'm maybe meeting them and I want to show them in person. When I go to print this is why you don't want to email them the PDF. And it's a high quality, so this will take 2 seconds to download. I like the PDFs, but you have to delete pages. I have a sample up on the desk here. I deleted like 30 pages. It looks great flipping through it. I mean, it's missing Patriot Properties and the deed and the other things I would pop in there, but it looks great. And I just have, but if I printed out all those pictures, and sometimes the listing sheet goes to 2 pages, you don't need the second page. I'm going to download this to my desktop. To my other side. So here is the PDF of the one we just did. This is the cover. So I haven't updated it. Our default is black with black writing. I haven't changed. I should really do that. This is the cover. So page 1. If you're opening it as a book, page 2, 3.
Yes, you show them up above 1 to 39 pages.
Right. Oh,
Black.
1 to 39 pages. You don't, if you email this to them, people one-sided 39 pages. So what I do is just keep in mind, front page is odd, open it up, left is even odd, even odd, even odd. So the big thing here is you have your 2 pages of your property that you're talking about in the map, but you really get to move this one down because here's the first comp, 1, 2. I like to show them the comp in the first set of photos. Comp. I don't need 2 pages of just the second page. The only difference is there's words, delete, and delete the photos.
I'm not seeing it.
I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, it's not scrolling down. It should. No, I'm gonna do share. Share my desktop. So here we are. I just deleted a couple of pages. Here's the cover page. And then the next page is the subject page with the map. And then if you see the next page is a fill-in page because you need to get to your comp with its pictures. So I'm going to take this page, which I still want, and just drag it to the bottom-ish, which on some of them actually comes up twice. So I think in the buyer packet, I didn't want to delete it, so you can just delete it. And then at top again, look at all those photos. So left, right, left, right, left, right. Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. Left, right. Don't need this. Left, right, don't need this, don't need this, left, right, don't need this, don't need this. Rarely would you print out all the comps and all this stuff. You might just print these pages. For the sake of it, this is just a continuation, whether it's gas or oil, you might want to keep it. I'm just going to delete it to have less pages. That's the first, that's the second. And then do you want these charts or that you don't? you know, these two pages are the same, and then the back page. I could put the Remax 360 on the back page. Just, I guess it's, are you like Erin at the Gloucester houses, and those mega houses? I'm printing one of these every time and I'm putting it in the back, I'm making it high end. But if it's just like someone who's been looking for 2 years, I'm not gonna print it out every time and hand it to them. It just depends on who you're talking to. If you give it to them at the first meeting, they're gonna be like, oh, they don't care for us anymore. They don't give it to me anymore. So just be careful what your expectations are. Right. So, I mean, it's a great little book and presentation. You could just email them this if not, but you're already emailing them the cute little slides. So it really just depends on why you need this, but the option is there. So this is now 22 pages. That's 11 pages front and back. So it's so much better than 38 pages. So I'm going to go back like Carolyn had recommended, and let me just cover my messy desktop and just start a basic presentation, just a packet that has, that's go to print out and hand it to them packet. So I'm going to create new. It's called non-listing. Continue. Brokerage template. I'm just going to call it 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be like buyer packet 1.
Just say, buyer package print. So you know,
To print, yeah. So this is what you get, your profile and the cover page. So I'm just going to show you guys what I have in mind, what I would put in, because hopefully it will all get there. So I'm going to add pages. I'm going to add from my library.
So this is when you go into the broker pages and the buyer presentation.
Yep, I'm gonna. So here's my resume. I have a team, so I'm gonna do meet the team, brokerage. And I'll do buyers, buyer timeline. Oops, but I will add it.
Throw in MoveEasy.
Yep, I am gonna go back there. I'm gonna go down to MoveEasy. And I like the portrait. I am going to, I don't need to sell with Remax. Marketing trends, is that relevant? CMA.
You have the tax record.
Here's taxes. I don't have to open, I can just click it. What to expect, I like that page. I'll do the office map at the back. So just for now, those. Now, if I go to seller guide, buyer guide, buyer packet, these are all those pages. So as you know, I didn't label them yet, but if I'm just gonna click on questions for the lender, I wanna find that pre-approval packet. I wish I knew which one it was. Oh, types of loans, perfect. So I'll just put that one in just so that you all know that that can be put in there. So as pages have counted, every time I've added one, I now have 10 pages. So cover page, resume, like meet the team. I'm probably gonna put my resume at the bottom. Meet the team after me. I don't need the agent profile anymore. I'm going to put the office map as the back page. Here's a tag, what to expect. Buyer timeline might be first. I don't know what to expect. MoveEasy, probably here. Oh, they need to get a lender. So my thought is with this buyer timeline, I really should have each of these from the timeline in here. So make an offer. I should have a page about what that means. You know, buyers don't know they need $1,000 check to bind the offer or more. Accepted offer. Do you know you need a second deposit check? like how many times have we like got to that point and they're like, oh, I need a second deposit. So these are the pages I think are must pages in the on the brokerage's library to have as options to put in. And I'd like it all to match the seller timeline in some way that they go in order. Accepted offer, home inspection, what does that mean? And then obviously in this market, we all know, hire an attorney, some recommendations. Pre-qualified would be first. Purchase and sale, just a little bit about it. Appraisal, finance date. Clear to close is we already have a page for that. It's just, I keep on saying I'm putting it in, but I do need final clearance on that. And then closing date. So I'm going to go back to the top and just view this web. So if they got that email, we all know what the email looks like. This is what they would click on, the button. But you know, we all want to packet. So this would be the cover page, or maybe you'd have a cover page,
You could pop in a cover.
a cover page and then white on the back. And then this is the first page.
The cover page was your picture before, you were already on page 2,
Oh, okay. So there was a cover page.
but it's just the basic one.
So this is the cover page.
But you
Okay.
could put something else in
So
there.
this would be on the left if you were looking at it in the right mortgage. Definitely recommended mortgage people should be on the other side if you're a buyer agent. What to expect: honesty, integrity, respect, communication. I like this. I mean, this is something people just don't think about, the different tax rates they have to keep in mind, especially for the lending. You know, they might not qualify for a house because of that.
You need to run them with that $20.49.
I'd like this page, MoveEasy, to be not only branded, but a little bit more explained. Why MoveEasy? If you've never talked to them about MoveEasy, I don't think they're gonna understand.
And that's why we need to swap this out.
Yep.
We were from MoveEasy.
Yes.
Clients aren't gonna know it's
Right.
MoveEasy. So-
Exactly. So we're gonna make a MoveEasy page that says more like as if you never said a word to them about it. It explains what MoveEasy is on the page, but just for this, they did give this to us. I popped it in Moxi. So that's there.
What's the better orientation, portrait or landscape?
It just depends on your style. I like portrait because I think the biggest problem for me is printing.
Right.
Because it's very difficult unless you have the settings correct on your printer to actually print it correct. And I do plan on printing them sometimes, depending. I know I can show you a sample of somebody that used landscape. My plan is, obviously there's a lot going on right now and I hate to jump forward, but once this is all in and perfect and this is correct, that's correct, I've sat with everybody to use it. I'm going to take all the forms and make them in portrait mode. So you're going to have one thing to click with everything that's in there, and it just goes a long way. In case someone does like to, I know Anthony Gallo and Sean Conley like to go landscape with all their stuff. If you were to use portrait and print landscape, it just prints it smaller in the middle. So it works, it's fine. Actually, all my CMAs in the past were landscape, but portrait, because the way that my CMAs work when I was popping in pages. So some pages were this and this, if I'm doing it portrait, it's just all portrait. It's like I think it's the easy selection for the whole entire office, but there are people that will want landscape. And so it is what it is. You're gonna have to wait for it. If those people probably have more of the ability to understand of how to change it. I'm giving you the templates in Canva if you want to go in and just switch it, but I will go ahead and do that. But after I've sat with everybody, after all the forms are in, obviously the seller forms, we're a couple forms away still. I'm just starting the buyer, but there's no reason why you can't send out buyer presentations, put your own forms in. This is my old resume. Actually, I have the one that I think I show people that I can help you guys with. I always say this and it's like, I really will but email me sooner than later. I just need your bio page on the internet somewhere. If you have a resume, send it to me. Any accolades, my pages. I think this is my resume here. Yeah, most of the resumes look kind of like this that I've been making, or there's a circle here because I have a long photo. I just think it looks modern. I can do your circle here with maybe your accolades here, or if you are in support of Children's Miracle Network, we can put that logo here, or what university you grab, whatever you want to put in to grab people's attention. Like all the realtor associations we can put in. There's a lot of information we can put in that, I just fill it up with stuff. It makes me look qualified. You can trust me. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, so that's really it. Obviously, this is a work in progress. As I said, you just have to Tipper, Etsy. That's where a lot of things you can get for inspiration. But you do have to know how to use Canva. So, but I'm happy to help anybody to sit on a one-on-one. I can't sit for more than 2 hours, but if you were to do it, but I could help somebody in probably I was with Pam Cody and we sat for a half an hour and I'll get her two things for me for homework, which I'll do in about 20 minutes. And then she's gonna be ready to go with what she wants. I'm not to brag. It's I feel like I'm bragging to be it's easy.
Why am I paying $3? It's easy.
So that's really it. I think the big thing is if you guys want a resume like this, if you don't already have one, just reach out and send me the information. People have just emailed me their link to somewhere like a Zillow or something, and I'll just pull it and make it into something. And then I'll give it to you. And then right back, can you add this? Can you add years of service? Some of you have been licensed a long time. add user service? Can you add this or that?
So Katie, these buyer pages I'm looking at
Yep.
right now, are they ready to go? You just dump them in?
I dumped them in, but they are ready to go. Just make sure there's no fake telephone number on them. I think the way they dumped in was clean and ready to use. I will update them. And there is a Canva tab that you can take that whole thing and it's yours in Canva.
Oh,
But I'm coming to the Marblehead office, what was that date? The 11th of March on Friday
all right.
afternoon.
I'll
So,
fool around with these.
that's kind of far away though. So I think
Yeah.
we can meet sooner.
And what I've done for seller pack, I have 3 seller packs. I have one is just quick CMA.
Yep.
I have one of all of Remax marketing fluff, which is like 29 pages.
Can I hear him?
I have a 10-page one, a 22-page one, and
Yep.
a 30-something, if someone needs the whole.
Yep. So Sean's just saying that he has his template saved and he's ready to go. So that just basically means like when you're here, sorry, I keep on clicking around. I'm probably confusing people. When you're here,
Yeah.
creating a new tab and you're clicking, I'm going to make a seller presentation. When he clicks here on my templates, he has templates. So I have templates. These aren't real. I was doing them as examples, but I have templates in here that I could just make over and over. I never have to grab the net proceeds sheet when I make template 1. It's all exactly how I like it. All I'm doing is popping in the pages. That's it. Or maybe my template is buyer packet 1 and that's just a print. I'm not doing anything to it. It's just my print and go. Or I'll call it print and go buyer. So it's once you do it once and you like it, you're really just doing the comping moving forward. So if this is intimidating, just get to the point where, or we can sit together. We'll get you to a point where it is what you want it to be. And all you got to do is click listing presentation, add your comps, send. Just remember not to send the link of the PDF. And then Bonnie easily, well, no, I can speak easily that Bonnie would know if you had the PDF, she could help you take out pages so that it's front, back, front, back, front, back. If I'm around, I can help. Christine, if you're in the Lynn office, understands how that works. On my computer, when I take out a page, the pages don't renumber. So I actually have to like remember even odd. So I don't know about anybody else's computer. Anything else? I feel like I'm a little low on information, but it's also, I don't want to teach something I'm not too confident in.
Question in the chat. I'm not gonna unmute myself. Are these pages in Google Drive or Moxi? That was Kathy's question from like 5 minutes ago.
Okay. So some of the pictures, some of these are in Google Drive. Let me just see what is, and I'll have to add that to my homework if it's not. So my shared drives, Remax 360, marketing, photos, and logos. Social share. Nope, I'm in the wrong place. CMA tools. New CMA pages, example CMA. What do you think? Where would it be? Maybe I haven't put them in yet. They should be under CMA tools, I would imagine. So they will be here. I was just, Caroline, are we putting these? I said I was putting them in the Google Drive. I can still do that. Okay, great. So CMA tools, they will be here. This is my weekend homework. Actually, I have a sitter today. I'm planning on staying here. This stuff for me is like my fun stuff to do. And I was saying that earlier, like when I'm sitting on the couch at night and Vivian's like chilling and watching like a Disney movie, I love making gifts. Like that's like what I do. I don't drink wine anymore when I do it, but here, I want to show you guys real quick while I'm in here. Marketing, photos, and logos. I have over the past week or so, social share under marketing, photos, and logos. Every time I find social things, so social posts is where you want to go, I'm putting them here in the Google Drive. So these are all posts we've used in the past or have not used that you can grab and go. They're ready to go. They either say Remax or Remax 360, one or the other. It doesn't matter. It's Remax, so these are all things that you can grab and go. Stories, there's not very many, but here are some stories. I started at Valentine's Day. Here's some Monday. They say only Monday, so I made its own folder. Some Friday posts. So this is growing over time, holiday and month because some of them say, hello, February, or hello, November. October, I think might be both, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Labor Day post, Valentine's, Halloween, Christmas. And then I will make more folders as we get more New Year's or more of this, but since there's only a few of each here for holidays, I just have the rest of the holidays there. I'm going to continue to dump them there. Not everybody likes want to use back at you, or you do, but you want more content for a holiday. Cause I tend to not do holidays for people. That's for you to, I don't want to take people's holiday posts away from them. But this is where you can go and get extra content, especially the main page. It's just posts. I love the Remax posts that are more at the bottom. Honored as a top franchise. These are all Remax from remax.net. These are great stories. If you know how to post multiple stories, they flip through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one story post, or this would be the first post.
How do you, that's hard. On Instagram, you can't, like for my KCM, if it's a 4-panel.
Yep.
I can't
You do
push it.
one picture, do it. Next story is the next one. Next story is the next one. They're
Oh.
separate, but they're flipping through.
Okay.
Yeah, then you can put that to your Facebook. I'll show you how to do links too, because I just learned that last night. This is actually New Year's, but I do think it's time to hire an agent. It doesn't say New Year's on it. Appraisal versus market questions to ask. These were from PhotoFi I grabbed. I'm gonna grab more every now and then. I'll grab some more and pop them in here. So just check back if you're interested in,
That's a good one. Oh, that's so the 8 steps to buying.
Yep, 8 steps to buying. There's 8 steps to, there's something else to selling. This was nice. 3 ways to, so there's a lot more in PhotoFi. I can only grab so much at a time. I think I have a lot on my phone. I still have to download into here. But you can make these in Canva with your brand if you wanted to take the time to do that. But let's face it, none of us really want to do that. So I went ahead and I just popped it all in here for everybody just to grab and go. So what you do is just click on it, click the 3 buttons, download, and then it's on my desktop. I either post it right here or I text it to myself because I know I'm going to be bored later sitting at an open house. I'm not going to be bored in an open house today. They're too busy, but like whatever, sometimes you're waiting at an appraisal or an inspection and I'll like have time to do something, or sitting in my car waiting for the fire department. It's a great time for me to post something. That's really it. I think that's the new stuff. The big thing is anyone that is familiar with the Google Drive, the Remax 360 Canva templates. All you got to do is when you're in Google Drive, type Canva, Remax 360 Canva templates. You don't have to search through everything all the time. So again, when you're in Remax 360, it looks different for everybody. Shared drives, Remax 360. This is how it looks to me when I log in because I'm on Gmail. My eyes aren't good. I don't know. And then right click here, Canva, Remax 360 Canva drive. Here's the Booz Canva templates. I don't think a lot of us are on that anymore, and then that's where these are the sold, just listed, new to market. And then below is the Moxi. Most everything I've built in Moxi is here. These will be up as soon as they're approved. Map of offices. I just made a new map of offices that I popped in the private page. I added the pin. That is in Moxi. It's called Office Map. I like that one a lot. It looks very attractive. It's a great back page. And here's the buyer. I gotta do a little bit more customization for the back at lake, the people that do like to have back at lake on their stuff. Again, so there is also a full seller's guide that I had downloaded from Etsy that I based a lot of stuff off of. I'm just giving it to you guys. Do what you want with it. A lot of people don't want anything to do with it, but heck, if you want it, you can have it. I'll customize it so it's easy to look at least, and pop the pages in and make it simple and branded. I have a few moving checklists I'm working on. Trying not to recommend anybody from the company, like Carolyn said, because that just comes back. Yeah. Yep. Carolyn, anything else?
I think that was it. I'm muted. So if you just want to remind everyone, we'll be in the Lynn office next week.
We are going to be in the Lynn office a week from today. 9 to noon, not a Zoom, right?
No, just hands on.
9 to noon, hands-on. So just let us know if you're, what's great is Carolyn's there, I'm there. So she can sit with someone, I can sit with someone. It's kind of like not really scheduled. So it never tends to be a problem where people are waiting.
Feel free to reach out.
Yeah.
At a specific time if you know you're coming.
If you can't hear Carolyn, if you have a specific time and you have a busy day or whatever, you can't wait around, let us know your time and we will make sure we're cleared for that time. One of us depending. And Carolyn and I have our strengths and our weaknesses. So we know who to put who with and stuff. And we'll probably be right at the long kitchen table. Yeah.
This is just easier if I just can get.
Oh, awesome. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thanks. Ask if there's any more questions.
Any more questions?
Through with the chat.
I think that's going to be it. The buyer really takes off a lot of this from the seller presentation.
Yeah, it does.
And I think the one-on-ones help a lot. They helped me when I did a one-on-one for myself. I think my first class, I was probably awful when I was trying to teach it because I still didn't really know it. I wasn't passionate about it. I love it. Oh, one thing I can show everybody before we leave. I don't know if anyone's logged off or not, but under Moxi. So a big thing that I like to do is when I'm doing my seller presentations, I like to add the deed in the plot plan. And maybe I want to add a Zillow form or something like that, which I do think I might have added here. Zillow, I'll add, oh, Zestimate websites. So this page is here. Just show it to you. I like to add this page. So what I would do is I would use this template in Canva each time. I like to show them what their estimates are and then download it and upload it into my presentation. I know that's taking it to like a little bit of another level, but once you're comfortable. So if I'm in my seller presentation, this is a buyer presentation, of course. Pages, add a page, create new, build a page. I want to build, you can upload a PDF by, oh, sorry, back a page. You can add a PDF. Add, Chris, oh, Jesus, I'm so sorry. Pages. My fingers aren't working. Create new. You can add a PDF here, or you can add a photo here. I screenshot a lot. So if I want to put, for instance, so I'm going to grab this, even though it's not anything. If I want to add Patriot Properties screenshot or a deed, I'm going to screenshot a deed or whatever I'm going to do. Maybe that's a PDF and I can just import it, but then it's too small. I like to screenshot it big. I do add an image, upload, screenshot, add, and now this is in my presentation. Save. So I would save like, you know, the name of it. So there's an invisible button here. Here it is. Our one invisible button. If you're like cancel, that's my only option is to cancel. It's you. If you hover over it, it turns gray. So now I'll just go back to show you what this looks like. Cover page. That would be like the deed. Obviously, this is like a picture. You could have screenshot a beautiful picture of yourself. Like that's the way you can grab a picture and pop it in. Because again, I like to. So when I'm in Zillow, I'll do my address. This is probably what my house used to look like. Yeah, that's before we renovated it. But I would do this. I don't need the oh yeah, I need the Zestimate. Usually it doesn't have a sold price. Now everybody knows what I bought my house for.
So you're a bad example because you don't really show the house.
I bought, we got it to the stud. And then I'll go to Realtor. I'm newly assessed and all that just hasn't caught up, but like in a normal. I'm poor.
Carolyn, I still haven't fixed that gradation thing you have.
You can do an individual basis, I'll do it on yours.
Road. Sometimes it doesn't come up here, but here's this. Sometimes I just have to remember it's not together. I like doing the 3 beds, 3.5 baths, which I don't have a half bath. I have 3 full baths, like just legally they included the 2 stories as legal, I think. But long story, and I have more bedrooms now, but regardless, that just shows them, this is estimating you on false information. So that's a good way, look, I've caught.
Are you in Realtor?
This is Realtor. So I've caught discrepancies that these sites are estimating, but off of completely different information. So it's another way to hold them. And then the other one I go to is Redfin. And then I found a page and I actually put it in Moxi. Let me see if I have it on my desktop here. Be easier if I did. Oh, yep. I found this in remax.com. And I think I called it discount broker awareness. I'll take a look. I'll add it to my homework. This was in Remax. It's newly branded. It's called Discount Agent Awareness. It might be great to put after the Zillow page if you choose to use it. And I was like, wow, because it does have the recent balloon, although I found it in an older thing. So I think I took it and I took all this off. So it's just a blue bar, or I left this, I think, took this out. And then everyone's gloves a good discount, but not when it comes to one of the biggest transactions in your life. It just like says some great stuff, like speaks the native tongue, Nose like a bloodhound. Like it just says all the good things about us. And it says it in such a great way. I thought it was a great page that we could use, whether it's, buyer packet or seller packet. It's just a great flyer, or maybe you put it in your folder. It's a great one to bring if you know you're going to sit with someone who's a discounter. So again, so let's just say I just did those two just to save time. We'll go over to Canva. I didn't open that link, so I'm just gonna.
You have to do this in Canva every time.
The Zestimate one, do you use Keynote?
Yeah.
You can open a Keynote and do the same thing and have this in your Keynote and then just screenshot your Keynote. So you can drag and drop into Keynote and then, so here's Zillow, pop it over, just drag and drop, drag and drop. Drag and drop. So that was Realtor, that was Zillow. I like Keynote because you can make a black box around it easily. And then this is Realtor. And then I'll just say, oh, I didn't bother with Redfin. I won't delete it for the sake of this. And then I could,
Why do you use Redfin?
they also have the same Zestimate tool as the others. They all go off of the same tool. They all just have different, they don't?
They come up with different.
They come up different. What I was told was they come up different, and Zillow told me this years ago, whether it's true or not, is Redfin changed their algorithms so that they'd always have the higher number, so that if you're shopping the sites,
My Redfin's $300,000.
it's switched now. It's switched now. And I think the reason why is they can't keep up with the market. None of these can keep up with the market now. So when, well, look at this, Realtor, 676. Look at Zillow, 573. It's not even close. Like, so they're going to pick the higher one they like and tell you they want that for a number, but you're going to show them, well, why? All these other states saying all different stuff. We can't just pick that because it's high. Like, this is a good page just to, I hate when I do a presentation, they're like, well, Zillow said then they threw my whole presentation out because of the Zestimate. So I like just putting Zillow right in my presentation. I think I learned that in a Terry class. Terry used to do that. Yeah, I got it from him and I love it. And then, what was some other people? Oh, the deed. So that's how I pulled the deed in. I don't know how I'm in a presentation here. So yeah, that's how you pull them in. Create new, upload a PDF here again. If you downloaded a PDF, build a page. This is where you can do the movies, create. So you can add a video. That would have to be YouTube or Vimeo. There was another thing, I never heard of it before. Add an image, you can add text. So at the top, I know that some agents of ours, I think it was Anthony Gallo and Sean, they wrote, here's a sample video of what we can provide you with your listing. And it was like one of their beautiful tour videos of another house. And it was in their presentation when you scrolled through. I had a video in one of my presentations. I didn't write anything. I was like, they probably saw that video. Like, this isn't a house. I should have wrote something above it. Been like, this is a sample. So you can write above it and then the video can be under it. Or you can do the side by side and write on the side and have the video on this side. So there's a lot of options. It's just how much time you want to put into it. But once you have templates, the time will be less because it will be built. Then it's really just about, do you want to add movies or not? How fancy do you want to get with it? Or how soon is it that you have to just pop and run? Or are you going to go to the house and then tell them you'll be sending them something, which I think a lot of agents actually do that. I think from other companies, from what I've heard in my area, they don't show up with anything. They show up with the Patriot Properties. So, and I think that's it. That's all I wanted to show for today.
All right, there's no questions in the chat.
What are the hours you're going to be in Lynn next week, Friday?
So I'll get there as soon as I drop Vivian. I drop her at like 8. So just in case I'm not dressed, I'll be there by 8:30 because maybe I have to run home and get dressed. It depends on how she is in the morning.
Okay.
8:30, and I'll stay there until the earliest I'll leave is like 2. That's what I did
Okay.
last week. And if I can get a sitter, I'll stay even later. So if there's a specific time you're coming in, just tell us. And then Carol, if you have to leave a little earlier to get someone off the bus, yeah. Yep. We'll get lunch. Smoothies from Swampscott Tropical Smoothie. Those are the best. Does anyone go there? Really good. They deliver on DoorDash.
Must be warm by the time you get it.
No.
Do you want to turn the volume down? I'm going to unmute.
Okay.
Good. Sorry, I didn't want to echo. So we're in Lynn next Friday. We don't currently have a schedule beyond that in terms of, the Friday trainings. We kind of took it out till next Friday, and then we'll kind of go from there. I know as we're heading into the spring market, everyone's going to get a little bit busier, so we just wanted to make sure that we're going to kind of take it week by week after that. So if we're going to be doing one-on-one in offices, we'll let everyone know. But next Friday, we'll be in the Lynn office. If there are any other topics you do have suggestions for trainings, let us know. But I think that's it. This is recorded. I'll post it later. I'll share it. If you have any questions about or need help with your MoveEasy, just reach out to me. And I think we're all set.
Good.
Thank you.